Awakening. Stunning health recoveries. 100% cure for depression, insomnia, asthma, fatigue, chronic pain, insecurity, panic attacks, and other major disorders. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy within. What would you do if you had 1300% more energy? Disease-free mind and body is your first wealth. Claim it at Inner Awakening. Inner Awakening, a 21-day meditation retreat with rare living incarnation. Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Nithyananda Dhyanapita, Nithyananda Nagar, Bididi, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Contact
0802 727 9999.
Email ia@nithyananda.org.
Nithyanandeshwara samarambam Nithyanandeshwari madhyamam Asmadacharya varyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today's Nithya Satsangh, a very important subject. It's going to be very fiery, powerful satsang. Come back to the space of listening. Dhyan se suniye. Many people sent their questions. What is the definition of enriching? If we just tell somebody to chant Rama Rama Krishna Krishna, or even Om Rim Nithyanandaya Namaha, or Nithyanandeshwaraya Namaha, Namah Shivaya, whole day, is it enriching? Or if we make somebody to do puja every day, is it enriching? If we make somebody go around the temple, Shani temple 9 times, Guru temple 7 times, Buddha, Shukra 8 times, is this enriching? Is this not enriching? It is like your Guru says, do Annadan for 1,000 people, and you cook 1 kg rice and call all the 1,000 people and stand in line and say Annadan. Anna means 1 rice. Dan. All 1,000 of you please come one by one, quickly have Annadan and go. 2nd rice. My Guru only said Annadan. He did not say in plural. So come on, one by one, have 1 Anna. 2nd Anna. 3rd Anna. The biggest problem with the human mind is so much of cunningness. So today I am going to define enriching, and the enriching from the right context. Please understand, what is enriching? Making the other person an enricher is enriching. Till he understands integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching, till he becomes enricher, enriching him is your responsibility. Please understand, through inner awakening, I only assist you in your responsibility of making that person enricher. Even our so-called enrichers have a very cunning, deep deep-seated incompletion. Even our so-called enrichers have a deep incompletion to take up something for which people resist. If you are an enricher, you have some incompletion to tell people to come for inner awakening or asking them to pay for inner awakening. If you have some reservations, you need to complete with your money pattern. Still you don't understand transformation is worthy of spending some money. You think money is more worthy than transformation. When you think money is more worthy than transformation, your enriching will lack enriching. Money is for transformation. Money is for creating infrastructures which will lead people to transformation. When you have incompletions with money, when you think money is more valuable than the transformation, you will neither have inspiration nor have a space to tell people to attend a program paying money. You will always try to have some escaping method. This is what I call so-called middle class moralities. Please understand, I neither accept nor denounce any class morality. I accept only morality which comes out of completion. I can see very clearly many of these questions are from people who have deep incompletions with money. That is why they do not have guts to tell others, pay for transformation. If you pay for transformation, you will be serious about living the transformation. You receive it. 3 days before, we had a serious discussion. And I was very seriously considering lifting of all payment structure for all our programs, including Inner Awakening. I said, come on, let's lift it off. As long as I have food, I'll share with participants. Let's have all programs free. Whether it's IA level 1 or 2 or 3 or NDY, NKY, all programs, let's offer it free. After the discussion, we discovered a great truth. Only 3 months people will be rushing. From 4th month, we will be sitting all alone. Only first 3 months people will rush, who have been enriched now, having money as obstacle. But after 3 months, we will be sitting all alone. Because the people who took the transformation freely never live. I know many organizations which offers transformation free of cost. They get their income by running some businesses. There is a big organization in India which was funded by a diamond merchant who is a founder. The founder is a diamond merchant. All his income through diamond merchant he funded to this organization. But unfortunately, they are not even able to help a handful of people. Only the curiosity mongers come and leave the program saying that food was very nice, arrangement was nice, and never ever come back again. Same way the Vipassana programs, which are offered completely free of cost. Nobody comes back to move the wheel of the Dhamma, even though they beg. I tell you, the methodology you adopt, the personalities you attract are very closely connected. Methodology you adopt and personalities you attract are very closely connected. This payment structure does a very good job of making people understand in the beginning itself. And a lot of said, unsaid good things happen through the structure itself. I'll expand step by step why only when somebody attends inner awakening and starts enriching others, he is enriched by you. Till then, your enriching is not yet become enriching. Till then, your annadana is giving one rice. Please understand, giving one rice is, even though technically annadana, it is not annadana. Making somebody go around a temple or do something, what you want, may look like enriching, technically enriching, but not enriching. Do enriching, not just by letter, spirit also. See, giving one rice is enrich, and doing annadana as per the letter, not per the spirit. Same way, enriching somebody to do this, that, maybe as per the spirit, as per the letter, not as per the spirit. आज के सत्संग का विषय है लाभान्वित करना वास्तव में क्या है? क्या जब करना लाभान्वित करना है? क्या किसी को पूजा करवाना लाभान्वित करना है? ये ऐसे है जैसे आपके गुरु 1000 लोगों को अन्नदान करने को कहते हैं और आप 1 किलो चावल पकाते हैं और 1000 लोगों को बुलाते हैं और हर एक व्यक्ति को 1 दाना चावल दान करते हैं। दूसरे व्यक्ति को लाभान्वित करने को प्रेरित करना ही लाभान्वित करना है। जब तक दूसरे को आप लाभान्वित करने को प्रेरित नहीं करते हैं, उस व्यक्ति की जिम्मेदारी आपकी है। हमारे लोगों की भी एक गहरी अपूर्णता है कि दूसरों को इनर अवेकनिंग के लिए बुलाने के लिए उन्हें आत्मविश्वास नहीं है कि वह दूसरों से कह पाएंगे कि पैसे देकर इनर अवेकनिंग के लिए आइए। जब आपको धन के साथ अपूर्णता है, आपको लगता है कि धन परिवर्तन से अधिक महत्वपूर्ण है, जब आप पैसे देकर परिवर्तन पर काम करते हैं, आप उसका महत्व समझते हैं, तभी आप उस परिवर्तन जीते हैं जो कार्य प्रणाली आप अपनाते हैं और जिन व्यक्तियों को आप आकर्षित करते हैं। ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। understand, I'll explain the science of enriching. Please listen. You are vibrating a magnetic field. Come to the listening space. There are two frequencies inside you. There is a self in you which has frequency of its own. This is what I call the energy of possibility of enlightenment. In Sanskrit we use the word Jivatma, individual soul. There is the mind in which you ask the frequency of its own. This is the energy of the pattern and suffering present in you, which derived energy from the Atman. Please listen. You need to understand. There is a mirror in front of me. Always I saw the mirror only reflecting these lights. Two days before, I walked into the same hall to supervise these constructions which is going on. And suddenly my eyes fell on the mirror. I was shocked. Oh, this mirror does not radiate light by its nature. It's only a reflection. Because I always I have seen this mirror only lit. It is reflecting the light. I forgot. It only reflects. It does not have its own radiation, its own natural light. Same way, because always you see moon reflecting the sun, you forget moon does not have its own light. Please listen. Same way, your mind does not have its own energy, but from the time you saw your mind, it was always reflecting the consciousness. Because of that, you started thinking, you start feeling your mind as an independent energy, which is not. So the patterns you carry inside you has no independent energy. They have no independent power. At any given point in time, you are either used by the frequency of yourself or the frequency of your mind. Please listen. Third truth, I am coming. Please listen. The first truth. You have a frequency of consciousness in you. You have the frequency of mind in you. The frequency of the mind is the pattern, incompletions, suffering present in you. Third, at any given point in time, you are either used by the frequency of your soul, Atman, consciousness, or the frequency of your mind, the patterns. When you are used by self-consciousness, you are a magnetic field of completion, possibilities, creation, and expansion, and you will attract only those situations and experiences from life which forward expansion. On the other hand, when used by the mind, you are a magnetic field of incompletion, patterns, and shrinking. There are two dimensions in which your existence is defined: time and space. These two, time and space, are continuously crossing each other. It is like two snakes intertwined. Please listen to the next truth. There are two dimensions in which your existence is defined: time and space. These two, time and space, are continuously crossing each other. This is the next truth I am defining. Next, when you are not actively enriching, and then when time crosses space, you will have time for time. And that is when the frequency of your mind will be more, and you will be used by it in those moments of your life. Listen. When you are not actively enriching, when you are not having the space also as part of you, when your time and space are not equally part of you, your time will have only time without the space. Please listen. When your time as a time, time is like a life, space is like a why life. When the why is not there, only life is there. What you go through is only I call boring, depression. Listen. When, I'll explain again. Listen. You are made of time and space. Space is like why life, the reasons to live. Sometimes it will be out of completions or incompletions. Sometimes just out of overflowing joy, you want to do something. Sometimes out of incompletions, you want to do something. But the space is the reason. Space is the reason. Time is like a plain white cloth. Space is the color printing on it. A dress will be complete only if the cloth and the color both are there. You can't just wear the color. You can't just wear the plain white all the time. Same way, you can't just live with time, or you can't just live with the space. When you don't carry the right space, you will have time for time. Just time will be crisscrossing time. That is when the frequency of your mind will be more, and you will be used by it in those moments of your life. This is when you will feel bored, don't know what to do, want to relax. You have free time but don't know what to do. Time will kill you, you will kill time. Putting somebody in prison is nothing but letting time kill that person. Understand? It's a very cunning punishment human beings have developed. Letting time kill that person, or letting that person kill the time. If you are bored, don't know what to do, depressed, killing time or time is killing you, be very clear. You are in the ultimate prison. You have given life imprisonment to yourself. Whenever you are actively enriching, and then when time crosses space, you have no time for time. Please listen. Whenever you are actively enriching, when time crosses space, you have no time for time. And that is when the frequency of your consciousness, self, will be more, and you will be used by it in those moments of your life. When I say no time for time, what I mean is you are so completely packed with your continuous enriching actions, springing forth from a space of completion, that literally you have no time for the usual routine things like feeling bored, feeling depressed, feeling like don't know what to do, time pass, eating and sleeping, not because you genuinely feel hunger or need for the rest, just because you have time. I know people eat just because they have time, not because they are hungry. Sickness starts when you start eating just because you have time. Depression starts when you start sleeping just because you have time. I tell you, actively enriching means two things. One, being in a space of completion. Two, enriching others with the most challenging thing possible. Listen. Actively enriching means two things. One, being in a space of completion. And two, enriching others with the most challenging thing possible. Means enriching others with the most challenging thing possible. Let me define it. What was the most challenging thing in your life? Doing the same thing to others. The most challenging thing in my life was becoming sannyasis, giving up the whole life. I did that and doing that to millions of people now. In your life, giving some money for transformation would have been the most challenging thing. Make others do that. That is the most challenging thing. The most challenging thing changes from person to person. I have seen there are some people, giving up their life itself and becoming sannyasi will not be that challenging. But giving little money and attending a program for transformation will be more challenging. Whatever is the most challenging thing in your life, you do and make others do, that is enriching. In my life, the most challenging thing was giving up the whole life and the inner space to sannyas, for enriching others, for integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. The most challenging thing in my life I am continuously enriching everyone to do that. The most challenging thing for human beings is expansion. The biggest resistance human beings in their life is resistance towards their own expansion, as they constantly live in an illusory perception of risk when they think of expanding. Listen. Whenever you plan for expansion, you create illusory risk. The other day I was talking to some of my sannyasis. Even coming and presenting the proposal of their expansion to me looks risky for them. Because the moment you wanted to expand, you imagine some risk. No. In that step, it may be risky. In this step, it may be risky. The most challenging thing for human being is expansion. The biggest resistance human beings in their life is resistance towards their own expansion, as they constantly live in an illusory perception of risk when they think of expanding. When you destroy the fear of expansion, you have crushed fear of death. Listen. When you know you will expand and survive anywhere in this world, you will not be afraid of death, because even after death, any space you are given, you will expand and survive in that space. Even if you are put in the hell, somehow you will talk to those Bhutaganas, the demons of Yama, make a friendship, teach them integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching. Reach out to Yama and make Yama as your student. Yama will be attending here in Inner Awakening. You will be taking care of the in-charge Yama. After the IA, naturally, he will feel inspired to do Ananda Yogam. Then he may feel inspired next to become a sannyasi. You will say, till you come back, I will be in charge, Yama. You be there. Listen. Fear of expansion is fear of death. Fear of expansion is fear of death. Whenever you enrich others with the most challenging aspect for you, which is listening for their expansion and standing up for their expansion without giving up, you are in a space of completion and active enriching. Listen, I am repeating. Whenever you enrich others with the most challenging aspect for you, which is listening for their expansion and standing up for their expansion without giving up, you are in a space of completion and active enriching. That is when the frequency of yourself, your pure conscious energy of enlightenment is using you. I wanted each one of my sannyasi, disciple, devotee, follower to be embodiment of this sutra. I'll read out once more. I'll share this sutra once more. Whenever you enrich others with the most challenging aspect for you, which is listening for their expansion and standing up for their expansion without giving up, you are in a space of completion and active enriching. And that is when the frequency of yourself, your pure conscious energy of enlightenment is using you. Continuously be the space of listening for their expansion. Be the space of enriching for their expansion without giving up. Without giving up. I tell you, even though I was living all these principles naturally, when I decided to live this principle day before yesterday, verbatim, with this very understanding as a science, I experienced one of my own deeper dimension for me. Please listen. Last 3 days I am keeping the suspense what happened in that meeting. Now I am telling you. Ramana Maharshi says beautifully, I achieved Brahmajnana before even knowing the word Brahman. But when I know the word Brahman and the whole methodology, it was so easy for me to explain it to others, express it to others. I am adding one step further. When I became enlightened, I did not know all these words and methodology. But when I know all these words and methodology, not only my expression became so powerful to transmit this experience, even my capability to enjoy my own presence has become deeper. Ramakrishna says, I know I was an incarnation, but when I know it based on the clear definitions and dimensions and the logical conclusions from the Shastras, traditional scriptures, even I started enjoying my presence of being an incarnation. I tell you, that is what has happened to me few days before in that meeting. Whenever you enrich others with the most challenging aspect for you, which is listening for their expansion and standing up for their expansion without giving up, you are in a space of completion and active enriching. And that is when the frequency of yourself, your pure conscious energy of enlightenment is using you. You are conditioned. Please listen. I am revealing the next truth. You are conditioned, and it is very easy for you to listen to and relate with others as their smallness and as their pattern. Because you are also very comfortable about it. When people speak to you about the share and what is their net worth, car, house, you are very comfortable because you are also going to speak only in that same language. You scratch his back, he scratch your back. Both scratching each other's back. That is why even jealousy sometimes feels very cozy and comfortable. Even in jealousy, you are not shaken. Please listen. He may have 10 million in share, you may have 3 million in share, but still you love to talk about it because it is in the same frequency. Even though you feel you have less money, but it's the same field. You will one day make it as big, and you will try to talk somebody who has $1 million. With him you will talk the same subject. And you will behave the same way the $10 million guy behaved with you. With the $10 million guy interaction, you learn how to behave with $1 million guy. If you are a 3 million, you learn from 10 million guy how he behaves with you, and you go and behave in the same way with 1 million guy. That is why even in jealousy, your pattern is not broken. You are comfortable. Maybe a little feverish, but not paralytic. Getting married is very much like going to a restaurant with friends. You order what you want. Then, when you see what the other person has, you wish you had ordered that. You are conditioned, and it is very easy for you to listen and relate with others as their smallness, as their pattern, because your upbringing in the society, you are born and brought up and live in your family, everything has trained you only to be with the smallness. I have seen many of these so-called celebrities, big political, cine celebrities, when they come to meet me, when they come and sit in front of me to talk, I will I'll try to be as simple as possible. But I have seen their whole inner personality shivers. The whole pillars on which they built their personality is experiencing an earthquake. They try to continuously cover up their incompletions. I have seen many celebrities, nothing, they'll come to me for healing, blessing. They'll sit in front of me just in 5 minutes talking something. Their face will become pale. Eyes will become pale. As if they have been slapped by something too vast, which they can't cognize. But I will be speaking very simple things. Did you eat? How is your stay? Is comfortable? Is your family doing well? What your son is studying? Did he go to temple? I never speak any Vedanta or great science of enlightenment. When people come to me for having to have a personal interview or darshan, I talk very simple things. How is your life, and how is your wife, how is your family, did you have food in the ashram, did you go to temple, only these small things. But just sitting in front of me, I have seen people just please listen. I may be talking the small things of their life, but I am standing for the big things of their life. I may be talking small things of their life, smallness of their life, but I am listening big things of their life. I'll continue in the next satsangs. I'll continue in the next satsangs. Today, I'll move to the next segment of the morning satsang, निराहार संयम. सीधी तरह से बैठ जाइए और चेतना स्थिति के साथ कल्पना कीजिए कि आप बिरदी वटवृक्ष बन गए हैं. इस कल्पना के साथ आप अपने दोनों नासिकाओं और मुंह के द्वारा सांस अंदर लीजिए. जितनी देर सांस को आप अपने अंदर बांध कर रख सकते हैं, उतनी देर आप अपने अंदर सांस को बांध कर रखिए. जब आप सांस को और बांध कर नहीं रख पा रहे हैं, तब आप अपने मुंह बंद रखकर सांस को अपनी दोनों नासिकाओं द्वारा धीरे से छोड़ दीजिए. आप में अपनी पूरे संपूर्ण श्रद्धा, उत्तरदायित्व और लाभान्वित करने के 4 तत्वों के साथ आशीर्वाद देता हूँ कि आप सबकी कुंडलिनी शक्ति जागृत हो जाए और आप सब अपनी जीव ऊर्जा को सीधे आकाश और वायु से उत्पन्न करें. अब क्रिया आरंभ कीजिए और इस क्रिया को लगातार 21 मिनट तक कीजिए. All the Nirahara Samyama participants, please sit straight, close your eyes. Cognize you have become Vidhi Kalpavriksha. And inhale through both the nostrils and the mouth as deeply as possible. Hold as long as you can. Exhale through both the nostrils. Do this for 21 minutes. I bless you all with my integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. Let you all experience Kundalini awakening. Live health, bliss and enlightenment by producing the energy directly from the space. Namah Shivaya.
Inner Awakening. Stunning health recoveries. 100% cure for depression, insomnia, asthma, fatigue, chronic pain, insecurity, panic attacks and other major disorders. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy within. What would you do if you had 1300% more energy? Disease-free mind and body is your first wealth. Claim it at Inner Awakening. Inner Awakening, a 21-day meditation retreat with rare living incarnation. Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Nithyananda Dhyanapita, Nithyananda Nagar, Birdi, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Contact
0802 727 9999.
Email ia@nithyananda.org.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.